Hello YouTube, this is my new Mark III Focus ST Estate, and today I'm going to be doing a tutorial video on how to hardwire a dash cam. So let's get started. Okay, so let's take a look at some of the things you're going to need to hardwire in your dash cam. So first and foremost, you're going to need a dash cam hardwire kit. There's two types of hardwire kit you can get. There's one that has a switched live and a constant live required. So you'll see that one says, I don't know if you can see B+, and this one says ACC for accessory power. And there's types of hardwire kits you can get that just have live and a ground. Of course this has a ground as well. So the reason you have ones like this that have accessory power and constant live is for dash cams that support parking mode, and the accessory power purely is there just to tell the dash cam when to turn on permanently, but it still provides it a permanent live so that the parking mode will continue to work. Now this dash cam is an HDC 400 Halfords model. It's quite old, it doesn't support parking mode, so in my case what I'm going to do is just use the constant live wire and plug it into fuse 86, which I'll show you in a moment, which will give it a switched live, so it just then acts like a normal hardwire kit. But at least I have this in future so that I can use this for any camera I get in future that supports parking mode. The kit also comes with a trim removal tool, which is quite useful, you need that, and you'll also need a 10mm socket. So all the wiring is going to be done down in the passenger area underneath the glove box, which is where the fuse box is. So as you've seen, this hardwire kit uses a fuse piggyback system. So it replaces a normal 10 amp fuse like this, and it has a wire coming off of it to allow it to power the dash cam as well, using the same 10 amp fuse. So to begin, underneath the glove box in the passenger area, you need to remove this piece of carpet. So you've got these, I don't know what you want to call them, sort of retaining pin things. You just pull them, and this piece of carpet comes down, which will expose the fuse board. Next, you want to open the glove box, get your trim removal tool, and remove this side panel here. Just work the tool around and pull it out. It can be quite tight. Pull it out towards you like that. And there we are. And what we're trying to do here is use this bolt as our ground, and we want to just feed this wire up here and just sit it behind that bolt there. So what I'm doing here is I'm just...
Sorry, you have for your shoes to be in it.
What are those?
So what I'm doing now is I'm just tying a cable tie around the ground wire, just like this. And this is to help me feed it up here. Now you just need to grab your 10mm socket and undo this bolt here, and this is going to be the bolt you will use for the ground. So just feed the ground in behind that bolt, and just do it up. There we are. So now that is the ground installed. Time to install the power. So in my case, I'm just going to use the constant live wire, the yellow one, and I'm going to connect it to fuse 86, which is this one right here. It's 4 up from the bottom on the right, and that is a perfect switch live to use. If you're wanting to use a constant live, best fuse to use is number
60, which is this 10 amp fuse right here, which is 5 up from the bottom on the left. That's fuse 60. In my case, I'm just going to use this switch live here. So, grab your pliers, remove the fuse, pop in the fuse from your Hardwire kit.
So that is our switch live connected and our ground. Best thing to do at this stage is to connect up the dash cam and just make sure it's working before you obviously put all the wires in and behind all the trim pieces to make sure that the kit is actually working. So I'll just turn the ignition on and you can see dash cam has come to life. Switch the ignition back off and it's gone back off. So that is working perfectly as it should. Now it's time to put all the wires in for their permanent installation. So next you're going to need to start feeding up the wire. So again, I'm just tying a cable tie around the end and I'm just going to feed it up here. And what I'm trying to do is feed it behind this metal frame. You see there, cable ties come through. There we are. That's the cable up through there. Just pulling it up through there like that. So it's gone up behind this metal frame and it's there. So this all needs pulling through. So just carefully pull it all through. Like that. That's perfectly fine. Contrary to what I just said, you might actually not need to pull all of this through. So just measure it up against where it's going to go roughly. So looking at it, it's going to run all the way up this A pillar here. And it's going to go along to roughly the middle, so like that. So that's probably more than enough, so I won't pull any more of the wire through. Okay, so now you've pulled the cable up the side of the dashboard, you're ready to start removing this A-pillar trim. So this cable is going to go behind this A-pillar trim and it's just going to tuck in the headlining here, and your dash cam is going to end up roughly around here. That's where the cabling is going to go. So you need to disconnect the battery from the car. So just for safety reasons, you need to disconnect the battery from the car. So grab your trim removal tool and push it in to the top and pull it away. And just get your fingers behind it and just gently pull it towards the center of the car. These clips are quite tough, so if you can, just work your fingers down towards the bottom of the A-pillar trim as you're removing it. There we are. Okay, so the top trim clip, as you can see, is linked with this piece of plastic. And what you need to do is pull this part of the clip out. It slides into the A-pillar trim. So the best way to do it is to grab your pliers and push it this way towards you, and that will unclip from the A-pillar. And the rest of the clips should just be a case of pulling it towards the centre of the car. Taking care not to lose any of the blue clips that hold it on. And once all the clips are loose, it should pull upwards and again towards you. There we are. So you can see there's these clips at the bottom that are covered in this cloth tape. They are quite difficult to pull out, but you just pull it upwards and towards you and it should just remove. And place that to one side. Okay, so now your A-pillar trim is removed. You're just going to want to run your cabling up the side. So the best way to do this is use the loops that are already there. So you can see here, you've got some plastic loops. You can run the cabling up. And there, look. And another one at the top here. So you can use that to retain the cabling. So as you can see, I've run the wire all the way up and I've tucked it in all the way around the head lining, and the wire just pokes out here and connects to the dash cam. So quite literally, it's just a case of pushing the wires into the head lining like that. Now it's time to reinstall the A-pillar trim. So the installation is the reverse of removal, pretty much. So just slide it in, making sure not to bend and break any of these tabs at the bottom. So you just have to be a bit careful. Make sure you can see where you're sliding them in. There we are. So just do it at an angle, feed it in from the centre of the car so that you can see where the clips are going. Just make sure they're actually going into the holes that they should be. And again, putting this little clip back in. Right. So it's just the reverse of the removal. Again, just the reverse of removal. Just slide it in from this side. Once you've done that, have a look. Make sure all of the blue clips are lining up correctly. And just gently push it in. And that's the A-pillar reinstalled. So down at the bottom again, you can see we've got a lot of excess cabling. So to lose some of this excess, I'm just going to roll it up and get a cable tie, go around it and tie that bit of excess cabling up and just snip the end off. And then I'm going to do the same again over here with this cabling. So this obviously we've not used, so I'll tie that up too. That. So I'm basically just bunching them up, tying a cable tie around them like this. Okay, and again snip the end off. Okay, so now that the excess cabling has all been tied up, it's just a case of popping the wiring kit somewhere secure. So I'm just going to push mine up above these plastic bits here, and I will secure it in place with the cable tie. Okay, pop the carpet back in its place, push these pins on. So reinstalling this piece of trim on the side of the dashboard is quite tricky. Generally, what you want to do is just slide it directly into position, but slightly tilt it downwards as you're doing that, because what you're going to want to do, just get close to there, you're going to want to just get your trim removal tool and pull the A-pillar trim so that this is in front of that, because otherwise it will will sit like that, and that's incorrect. This has to be at the front. Okay, for the trim, there you are. Just line it up. Once it's sort of lined up in position, take your trim removal tool and work it down the door seal like this. You see what I'm doing there? I'm just prying out the door seal so that it goes on top of this panel. Like that. There we are. It's now in the correct position. So just take a look inside and just make sure all the clips line up with all the holes and push it into place. Tap. And that's the job done. So that is the installation complete. If you have any questions, please put them down in the comments. I reply to all the comments on my videos. And please also remember to like and subscribe, and I'll catch you all in the next video. Thanks for watching.